And welcome everybody to our daily gun show. And it is the midnight Eastern time that we would normally go live. Traditionally, we've been going live every single weeknight since 2016, minus a few episodes. Just a couple of episodes we've missed. But figured to go live tonight. See if there's anybody out there on a Thursday evening, midnight, overnight. See if anybody's out there. And if so, what kind of topics you'd be interested in. So that's what we're doing. We're going live to flip the script and focus on the listener. What topics keep people who are listening overnight engaged during these late night hours? Whether it's your Second Amendment history, one of the favorites of our show, the latest firearms innovations. We've got SHOT Show coming up here in about 30-something days. We could check that out for people, I suppose. Prepping tips. It's always worthwhile. Always a good idea to be prepared. Or dive into the world of Second Amendment culture, which is an interesting way of saying the culture of the folks who understand the right and the defense of that right versus the tools and the toys. And then this show explores the content that you'd like to hear when the rest of the world is sleeping. So we've been doing this show in the middle of the night for a long time. But it looks like we're not getting very many people joining us tonight. But it's been a while since we've been on, so we'll give a minute for the alerts to go out there and get people out there to know that we're here. Most of the people that listen to our show listen to it as a podcast. I was just putting some podcasts together, and I got limited because I'm not paying for the podcast system. And normally, I don't need to max it out. I just haven't done it in a while, so I was downloading a lot of stuff. And it cut me off. So I'm sitting here kind of allotted some time to work on the podcast and can't. So I figured, hey, you know what? I'm going to go live and talk to people live and find out what kind of topics you might be interested in. So guess what? The robots tell me who's listening, and I can see you. I can see you and you and you and you and you and you are listening, but you're not saying anything. So for the sake of the other people that are listening, go ahead and type in some stuff over there. And then here's what happens. You unlock the interactive nature of the internet. This isn't the television or a movie where somebody with an agenda writes some script with a whole bunch of messaging in it in an attempt to push some kind of an agenda. Instead, regular people get together and chat and have back and forth conversation over here on the internet. So be part of that. Type something in there. Here's how that works. Wiggle your finger in front of that screen, that little piece of glass, or push some of them buttons on that big board of keys over there. And then those will create electrical signals that'll follow through the tubes, go to my side of the internet, and show up as words because of magic. And then I can type that back the other way. Or I could say stuff. It's pretty neat. Let's see. So let us know. Do you prefer thought-provoking discussions, deep dives into gear, lighthearted community stories? I guess we have decades of that. Or something entirely new. That'd be cool. Tune in and help us shape the future of Second Amendment conversation overnights. Especially for those who are awake. It says burning the midnight oil, but here's what I'm going to say. That are doing the jobs that everybody takes for granted. That nobody pays attention to. Everybody that does all the building, all the resetting, all the cleaning, all the rebuilding, and all the setting up for the morning. Everybody thinks that stuff magically happens. But in reality, it's a bunch of people that sleep all day, wake up in the afternoon, get ready for work, get out there as everybody else is checking out, and then they reset everything. They clean it all up, they put it back together, and then in the morning, everybody thinks, I don't know what they think. But For those of you working out there in the middle of the night, driving, that's a big piece of it too. Everybody driving everything, moving everything around. Nobody pays attention to that. But those folks driving often listen to our podcast. So if you're listening to this in the future, you know the drill. Next time you're over there checking out your podcast platform, give us a like, give us a thumbs up, whatever it is, a heart, star, whatever it happens to be. That's a big deal on those podcast platforms. And if you're interested, if you value what you're listening to, say something, give us a comment over there. Again, those are really big deal. Nobody does that. Literally nobody does that. So when you do it, man, it's a big deal. So do that for all the places that you value when you are on a podcast platform. It really is a big deal. But otherwise, come in here and say something while we're live. Like I said, leaving a comment on a platform has a lot of weight, but it takes forever. Like it'll be a while before we ever see that comment. And then we'd have to address it in a live show. And then that show would have to get turned into a podcast. That takes a while. And then you'd have to listen to it. So you'd be listening to it on quite a delay. So we just saw a swarm of people jump in. I'm assuming that means something went out there to let people know, to alert people. See Mr. Knives is out there. Welcome. You're up in the evening, although for you it's only 9 o'clock. Hope everything's doing good over in your neck of the woods. And we just decided to go live and chat about topics that people might be interested in. So what kind of topics would you be interested in for our overnight shows? I don't know. I see you around quite a bit, so I'm not even sure what kind of stuff you're listening to, or I should say what all kind of stuff you're listening to these days. Now, when I started this show, wide awake. I was bouncing off the walls because I coffeeed up. I was drinking an energy drink and had figured into podcast work tonight. And I mentioned earlier that I got rate limited and got cut off. I can only do so many on my free account, and I don't really want to pay for the account over there. I don't normally do this many. But I was trying to do too many, and I screwed up, and I did them wrong, and I had to go back and redo some, and that's when it said, nope, you're doing too many at one time. So I have to wait till tomorrow or something, or 24 hours probably, before it'll reset, and I can finish what I got to do. But I figured, hey, let me go live and start chatting. Yeah, it's no big deal, just so I can use the free thing. I don't even know what the real would cost. I guess I could go look. I guess what I'm saying is I'm starting to yawn here, so that's the nature of going live. As soon as you go live, it's like you immediately start getting tired. Let's see, I'll click on this. And it'll say, go ahead and download. Are you going to do it? Before it wouldn't do it because it said I had done too many, so I told it to do it again. Let's see if it does. Yeah, I hear that. I'm getting ready to fall asleep. I usually been going to bed around 9, so I'm kind of up an hour later than I would normally be. Of course, if we start doing the show in the middle of the nights again, then I won't be going to bed early. This was our normal time frame for, I don't even know, 1,600 episodes, 1,900 episodes or something. Well, maybe not that many. 1,600 episodes, though. And I really enjoyed doing an evening show. There's a whole group of people that would show up. It kind of changed, over the time. And we've been doing this for almost 10 years. But, so in that time, some people came and went. But the character, the type of person that shows up to listen to a gun / Second Amendment conversation in the middle of the evening is good folks, good peoples. So I don't know. My software over here that I told you was glitching on me or rating me is now learning, doing its thing. So we're going to see if it's going to download another thing for me or not. I'm trying to get it to either do its thing again, which it was not doing, or give me the alert that tells me it needs more money. So we can see how much money it wants. So as I said, there's robot narcs that tell me how many people are listening. Nope, it says daily limit reached. Stupid. But it didn't give me the it did not give me the pop-up to tell me do I want to buy it. So can't even tell you how much it costs. Anyway, the robot narcs tell me that a whole bunch of people just jumped in listening to this. So I wonder if that's a factor that when YouTube puts out alerts, or if, because there's probably a steady stream of people jumping on YouTube and looking around on YouTube. So it probably is more of a factor of when YouTube puts out the alert versus just waves of people coming in. I mean, it's possible that a wave of people came in. Maybe somebody dropped the link on a forum or in some page somewhere and everyone said, oh, we're over here anyway, let's go see what that is. But I can see there's a steady stream of people that are here, but you're not saying anything. Only Mr. Knife is saying anything. But then double that or triple that will come in for a minute or two, and then they'll leave. So I could totally see that, the link gets shared. People see it because it's in front of a bunch of people and somebody's interested in it for some reason. And then they click on it and, a bunch of people click on it. And then they're like, oh, this is lame. And then they leave. So I could see that being a thing. But it's interesting that the cadence or the frequency that they do this, I should probably time it. Maybe it's like every 6 minutes or something. Kind of neat. I mean, I guess I've seen that before in StreamYard. It's just that I never paid attention to it. I'm definitely noticing it here with the Streamlabs because of the way the alert is telling me. Let's see how much this place costs. Get the plus. You guys tell me what's your cost ever? Free forever starter version. Choose a license. Free forever. $15 a year. $25 a year. Or no, 25 lifetime. Wow. Or 45 lifetime. Well, that's not that much money, really. So I'm glad I looked because it's really not that much money. And let me compare all these plans just to be sure. $45 for lifetime means I never got to pay for it again. Uh-oh, that limited offer. I've been duped by limited offers. Do you have a license for that license? No, I don't have a license for this license. Let's see. So it's also that time of year when it slows down. I guess so. Can you hear that dog over there snoring? He's snoring pretty loud today. What did you do today that was so exhausting for you? Oh, we took out the garbage. We only took out twice. We didn't go get all the garbage, though. So he didn't even he didn't go out there for the garbage every time. But he did do a little bit of walking around today. All right, so license duration forever. Devices 3. Well, that's handy. Unlimited. 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 Oh, all of them are unlimited. Videos unlimited. Unlimited. Oh, up to 7 at a time. Okay. Huh. And then this one, got one, two. I don't know what all this other stuff is, but there's a whole bunch of other stuff. That's crazy. All right, well, I guess maybe I should leave this one open, perhaps, and perhaps even consider paying $45. All right, well, that was a boring part of the show where I was reading some licenses and not really saying anything, but that was an opportunity for people to say stuff, and nobody's really saying anything. So I don't know what else to do. We could watch a video or something, but that's just gonna. Well, I guess that would kill time, and we could ask again if you're listening to the show, which there's a whole bunch of people. I see you all out there. At least I can see the numbers of you. Of course, if I click on this button, now I can see you. I've turned on your cameras, and I'm now looking at all of you. It's essentially a big screen here, and I can see, a row of I don't know, 5 by 10 or something. There's a bunch of you out there, dozens of you. And I'm looking at all your webcams. It's a new feature of this new Stream Labs that I'm using. It's pretty good. It's a little bit of latency, so some of you are freezing, but for the most part, I've got 1080p on most of the webcams. Some of you have 4K webcams. That's pretty nice. I won't share the screen or nothing, but I'm just saying, you could sit there. Some of you all are just standing there. You could type something. Some of you are sitting at your computer, so you could definitely type something. Those of you that are doing things that you wouldn't normally be doing, if you didn't have if you knew the camera was on, well, I guess you're just going to keep doing it because you don't want to be interrupted. But yeah, so we'll go here for a little while. Like I said, there's no point in playing a video. We're on the TikTok also. No, we're not. We're on the X also. So I guess I could go check out X and see if anybody's chatting over there. I'm not seeing any chat come up on the Streamlight or whatever it's called. Holy moly, there's a whole bunch of people over here. So let's get some comments coming in. Feel free. Let us know what kind of topics you're interested in for an overnight show. That's how you type in a comment, just so you can see a comment. You don't get scared. That's what a comment looks like when it comes in from X. You're allowed to comment from X. It is legal. You are allowed to do it. Is Mr. Knives over on X? No, he's on the YouTube. Pretty good series over on the Amazon Prime. If you're one of the Amazon Prime folks, I usually have Amazon Prime because of the free shipping, and then if I'm buying stuff, I can see where people, if you're not buying anything, where you'd let the Amazon Prime membership lapse because I think it's $20 or something. But if you're going to spend more than $20 on shipping in a month, then it's worth having Prime, right? At least that's how I see it. So if I've got running, then I have Prime all the time now. But so if you got Prime, and I understand that people don't, but if you got it, the other benefit of it is you get to watch videos. And I don't have those other services, so I don't know if Prime's videos are so much better than the other services necessarily, but the ones I have. So I decided to watch some stuff over there. Shauna's saying the 50 cal playlist was good. Right on, thanks. I got that idea from watching one of my friends' channels, and I don't know, they're probably trying to get their 4,000 watch hours, or else they were just bored and they put their channel on autopilot for days and days. And but it was lame stuff. So I decided, I'm going to do it with my own lame stuff, and tried a few different playlists. With the 50 BMG, I needed to tweak it a little bit because I think I sorted it by most popular, maybe, or I sorted it by most viewed or something like that. And when I did that, it pulled up a bunch of like 1 hour long podcasts. So I had to shuffle it so that the long podcasts are at the end. So if you did dig it, I had a conversation with Martin Ivy, my friend from Texas, who wrote the book on AK bayonets. And he's a big fan of, well, he's a like gun nerd, so he knows a bunch of stuff about a bunch of stuff. But we chatted live looking at my pictures of the 7.62 by 39, the 5.45 by 39, and then the 50 BMGs when I was checking out the Wooten Labs. And so I had all these pictures. We went live and then shared them on the screen. And Martin was giving us all kinds of insight as to what was going on with them. So there's definitely a lot more over there if you like the 50 BMG stuff. The Wooten Labs was an amazing, amazing place. I'm so glad I got invited to check it out and was able to hang out there. I don't even remember how many times. I kind of got on his nerves, I think, because I kept going over there. But until I wore out my welcome, I kept going over there. I kept asking him if I could help out, but it is the kind of place where as much as they could use the help, they could only deal with so much help, right? Because all kinds of reasons. But I'm certainly glad I got to experience it and then take a bunch of pictures. And, they're certainly letting me take pictures and share. So while I don't know what I took pictures of, I've got pictures of it. And then, like I say, if you're interested in that, it's at least a couple of hours talking with Martin. I mean, we talked for a long time. Yeah, there's a lot of, I like the variety of 7.62 by 39, but there's then definitely some weird types of 7.62 by 39 in there too. So tonight we're exploring topics to talk about. And I don't know. I guess I could hold my interest for a while. But I was going to say, talking about AK stuff, I guess it could hold my interest for a while. I usually talk about AK stuff about the stuff I know and not the stuff I'm not aware of, because I'm not, the stuff I'm not aware of is because I'm intentionally not aware of it. I don't really like, or I'm not that interested in the new stuff. But that being said, if that's all people want to hear about, if all the feedback we got was AK info, AK history, and that kind of stuff, I could figure it out. I could roll up my sleeves and get up to date with all the AK stuff. I know most of it. It's just a matter of knowing the last few years of it, I guess, is what I haven't paid attention to. But could. It's just not top of my list of things to do. Personally, I think I'd rather talk about ammo. I'd love to get into ammo collecting, chat conversations, and dig into people's collections, talk about the variety and the types, and then get on the road and start getting to gun shows and start growing the collection. With the 3D printers and the different, I guess, the potential we have with the way the internet works, the ways to display ammunition collections, I think is going to evolve. Hopefully will evolve. And like I say, with the 3D printers and with Ingenuity, I'd really like to see what's going on with ammo collecting. That's me personally. But I can probably hold my own with any kind of gun show topics for sure, gun museum topics, gun shop topics, firearms industry events topics, getting into shooting sports and hunting and stuff. I don't know. I can hold my own with my things that I'm aware of and or the things that I've dealt with. But I've touched on a lot of that stuff. I've covered it or seen it. get into manufacturers. Again, that would be super fun. We could start doing interviews. We've done quite a few interviews over the almost 20 years of the show. And I do plan on doing interviews. Typically, Monday is our interview show. I just really have to get back into the routine again so that just get into the routine again, start inviting people back on to be interviewed. It'd be cool to do some. I like the idea of doing a format where you do 3 interviews a month. So for 3 weeks, you do interviews. And on the 4th week, you have a roundtable where anybody who's been interviewed is welcome back. And that way people can kind of mix it up and meet other people. And they've got the common tie of being on your show. And they probably all know each other, but if they don't, they get to. Well, we're getting a lot of silence out there, and I don't need to push nothing out on the web. I'll drop it on the web if people want to participate. It's there for you. But, I'm not desperate for wasting my time or not seeking fame or fortune. So if people are interested in having a conversation in the middle of the night about guns, let's hear about it and give me some focus. What should we talk about? Sean is saying, it seems like AK manufacturers are switching to 5.56. It's potential. I haven't looked around lately. But with the importation issues, it's possible that 7.62x39 is drying up. That would suck. Or that, we know that 5.45 has dried up. But it could just be the idea of jamming a AR mag into an AK. People love that idea. But it could be a lot of things, and I'm not sure. I know I haven't been paying attention. Knives is saying, I see that there are more gun shows on YouTube videos. That's cool. I should see, that'd be neat. Especially if we're going live every night. I could pay a lot more attention to what people are doing with gun shows. We could start doing some virtual gun shows. That would be pretty cool. Go to gun shows through the cameras of other gun tubes or other gun channels. That'd be kind of cool. But that doesn't beat going to gun shows. I would not mind going to more gun shows. I would not mind at all going to more gun shows. But I haven't really watched AK stuff happening lately to see, are they changing out magwells or are they using 5.56 in AK mags, rocking them in. I'm going to throw a thing up here since I almost remembered to do it a minute ago. Let's check out some. So does that end or does that not happen?
Captain, a vessel approaching.
On screen.
We're being hailed.
Every weekend over at gearwebsites.com, our online store, we have free Patch Friday. And that means that every order placed on our store on Fridays is going to include at least one free patch. So that's every order with no coupons, no minimum order, no codes needed. You place the order on Friday, and when it arrives to you, it's going to have at least one free patch. Your support means a lot to us, and financial support is critical. So thanks again to the people who keep us online through purchases at gearwebsites.com.
Yeah, thank Foss for putting that one together. All right. Well, I was just checking out to see if I could see the thing over on X, and I can, but there's nobody chatting over there. It seems like there's a lot of people on X, but there's nobody chatting. I don't think this thing picks up the people on X, because this is a number and there's a bunch of people, but it's a different number over on X. So I'm thinking that this might only have been reporting to people on YouTube. So if you're interested in a show in the middle of the night, you may not be accustomed to it. Why? Because nobody bothers with the people in the middle of the night. They figure, you're in the middle of the night. What do you want to listen to something live? You should have been awake during the day. Well, we don't require that here. If you want to listen to a show that is live in the middle of the night, all you got to do is let me know and give me some support in the concept of doing it, and we'll go right back to doing a show in the middle of the night. I would love more than anything to be able to do a show in the middle of the night focused on the Second Amendment and guns in that order, primarily Second Amendment, but also guns, to do it in the middle of the night, every night, from Monday through Friday, or maybe like something like Tuesday through Saturday or something, so that it happens on a regular basis and we can start getting people in who are really movers and shakers, and let them kind of put their hair down and talk to us, and do sort of a Art Bell meets Joe Rogan type of thing. So we could really have long form conversations with people, really get into doing some projects. If you look back at our history on gun websites, we've done nothing but projects. That's the number one thing we're looking to do here. So I'd love to be able to spend some real time on that. If you're interested in being part of that, you could be one of the capitalists that supports us over on Patreon, or here as a channel member, I suppose, if you like giving a third of the money to YouTube. Some people hate Patreon, so they'd rather give a bunch of money to YouTube to help us do our thing. But otherwise, if you're some sort of store, gun show, gun shop, promoter, or something else in the industry, then let's chat, because I don't need a ton of resources to do this, but I'm not independently wealthy. I just can't stay up all night and do a show. I did that for a number of years, but it turned out to be financially stupid. So if I can figure out a way to do it financially smart, then we're going to make this happen. Let's see. Sean is saying, looks like a standardized mag, not compatible with either platform. Yeah, that's the problem, is they started rocking the magazines in for whatever reason in 1940, I guess, and thought it was cool. But I don't know why they never got rid of that aspect. It does seem a little weird, unnecessary even, but at the same time, I'm so used to it that I don't care. I guess there must be something about, maybe they do other things like that in Russia. Maybe there's, maybe that's traditionally the way you shake hands or something. They're always doing weird dances and stuff, so maybe throwing their elbow out in front of them like that is a natural movement to them, so they don't even think about it. And since we've always had stuff that inserts into a box mag, we're just used to jamming things up in there. So, yeah, unfortunately, because of the mechanically different ways they made these magazines, they're just not compatible. I don't think I like the AR version that much. It seems easier because you've got, just a push. But when you think about it, it's really a pain, and you almost always have to push and then slap to be sure, and push, slap, and tug if you really are making sure. And if you really want to make sure for real, that means you do that all the time, and it just gets to be a real pain. With the AK, it's in there, it's not in there, it's falling out, so it's in there. But neither one's perfect. All right, well, I'm going to definitely cut it off. I don't know if you notice I'm muting all the time here. For some reason, my throat has decided to make me cough all afternoon now. So, good night. Thanks to Mr. Nice for joining us and being the first one to jump in. Thanks, Sean, for saying hey. I think, was there somebody else out there? For some reason, I feel like there was somebody else out there. Maybe not. But if you're listening to this one in the rewind or in the podcast, I don't know. Will I put this up as a podcast? I guess I might as well. I won't be able to do it today. Like I say, I'm cut off right now. But whenever I can get back to my free system over there, Or actually, I'm getting really tired because I think I decided to pay for that thing. But anyway, once I get over and make this thing into a podcast, I might make this into a podcast because I am curious to find out what topics you'd like to have discussed on an overnight podcast, a long format overnight podcast about guns and the Second Amendment. I should say the Second Amendment and guns in that order. So appreciate everybody joining us, and stay tuned for more of these. Mr. Knives is saying AK stuff right on. Stay tuned for more of these so that I can keep probing and get people used to the idea that you are part of the internet. You do not have to just watch. You're allowed to type. You're allowed to do like Mr. Knives and Sean and be part of the show. Right on. Thanks for joining. The junk guns and the Ring of Fire guns and the mini revolvers, and I've got a couple other collections I haven't brought out necessarily, but I haven't really brought out the tiny guns. I mean, I've got the little revolvers, but I've got a bunch of tiny guns. I've got a pile of cannons. I don't think I brought my cannons out in forever. So there's a couple of collections that I'd be happy to share, especially now that I've got more time to shoot them again. So with all that being said, thanks to the people that are joining us live, but leave us those comments if you're listening to this in the rewind. And don't forget all those channels out there that are keeping the community together. People like Mr. Knives, who are in the comments all the time and part of the community, giving us some continuality. I'm trying to think of the word. Consistency. I think there's a better word than that. But the people that hold us together and the people that give us a place to be held together, let's give them value and appreciate them. And all those people that work in the middle of the night doing everything that nobody even pays attention to, y'all have value more than anyone will recognize. So that's why we do our shows in the middle of the night, and we consider ourselves one of you. Thanks for joining us. Let me do one more commercial since I can remember to do it here. I need to get a Gizzard commercial up in here. It's a commercial. It's not really a commercial. This is just some footage of driving down a camera. Just driving. I think it was this video. I think I first got this video. Okay, thanks everybody for joining us.
Shit. Ninja? Ninja! Ninja!
It's 11:59 at Radio Free America, and this is Uncle Sam with music and the truth until dawn. Right now, I got a few words for some of our brothers and sisters in the occupied zone. The chair is against the wall. The chair is against the wall. John has a long mustache. John has a long mustache. It's 12 o'clock, Americans, another day closer to victory. And for all of you out there on or behind the lines, this is your song.